So my parents were divorced from a very young age. I remember it was about 11 or 12 years old. This was really hard on me, being the youngest. I didn't have anywhere to go. This is when my anxiety started. I was going into high school and I kind of felt like it was just me and my mind. When I was 17 years old, I started working. I met an older crowd at work. When I was hanging out with them, I was exposed to drugs, alcohol, and I was kicked out of my home when I was 18. And when I moved in with my older boyfriend, he actually convinced me to go into the adult entertainment business. I was so upset at myself for being in this position and being in this industry that I actually resorted to self-harm. I really felt like an object. I was very fortunate to have the opportunity to get out of that industry, get out of that relationship. Once I started to finally feel better about myself and get in a better mental space, I received the news in 2021 that my sister was a victim in a domestic violence situation where unfortunately she didn't survive. Receiving this news was one of the hardest things I've ever heard, and honestly, it was the toughest year that I've ever experienced after this. I had a lot of anxiety, depression, and panic attacks, and I just hit complete rock bottom mentally. It wasn't until almost a year after my sister had passed away that I met my amazing husband. We went on our first date where I explained that I never went to church. I didn't know if there was a God. I asked him if that's something he would be okay with, and he was raw and said, honestly, I would love to be in heaven and see you there. And that's something that in that moment I needed to hear. So I attended Christmas service with him. And I remember for the first time in a really long time, all of the noise just stopped. I made the decision to start going to church on my own, secretly, to ensure that it was something that I was doing for me and not to make others happy. 2 months later, I was sitting in church. I remember I was watching a testimony video on screen about a woman just like me. For a moment, I took a step back and I realized that God was there for me the whole time. I just didn't see him. God is my Savior, and that he is the only thing that can take away my anxiety, my fears, and all of the pain that I have gone through. Looking back at my life, even though I didn't know God, I now have the opportunity to see the ways he was there for me and the way he has given me such a beautiful life from there. I recently got married, found out I'm expecting my first child. I don't feel alone anymore. I feel like I've found my family and home through God and through his kingdom. God can make anything possible with any broken piece, and he can make it one again. My name's Ciara, and I'm a follower of Jesus Christ.